Alright guys, welcome back to Nate the Hoof Guy. On today's video I'm going to show you an ingenious solution to organic fly control. I'm going to show you an abscess in a foot that's in a different spot than you're used to seeing. And I'm going to show you a chicken who's playing a dirty little trick. So as many of you already know, organic dairies are not allowed to use pesticides and different chemicals and antibiotics to treat their cows. So they need to come up with ways to combat these same issues that they have on other dairies, only in an organic fashion. And that's where this thing comes in. This is a machine that's actually a vacuum that as the cows walk through this, this vacuum will suck the flies off of their body. It's got two vents on the side and one on the top to suck the flies off their back. And as they go through, all those flies are then collected in this bag here. You can see them flying around in there. And then that each day is emptied out. So each day as the cows go out to pasture, or as they come back in from pasture in the evenings, or if it's a hot day to come in the barn to get underneath the fans, they go through this machine and it sucks some of those flies off. Now, is this going to be as effective as, say, a chemical application or something to kill flies? Probably not. But it's a solution that they can use to give the cows some relief from those nasty biting insects in the summer. All right, now let's get on to why most of you are probably here, and that's the hoof trimming part of this video. What we've got here is a cow that's favoring this right front foot quite heavily, and this toe, this inside claw here, actually has got a little bit of rotation to it. And what that's done is it's created an abscess. Now, you've seen me work on abscesses in other videos up near the top of the foot. This one is actually in the second most frequently found spot for an abscess, toward the toe region, right where it kind of makes that turn. And these tend to be much more painful than the ones that are located near the top. As you watch me trim this affected claw, you'll notice she flinches there a couple times. It's not from the actual cutting that my wheel is doing, but rather the vibration that it's causing is irritating that affected claw. This angle, you can get a good look at the separation that's occurred from that outside wall in the sole and the white line there, which is where that abscess is formed. These white line lesions show up in predictable spots from cow to cow. There's three primary locations that you're going to find these white line lesions, like you've seen in many of my other videos, near the top where the white line meets the sole. In this specific location here, where I'm working on this cow, where it makes the turn in the outside wall there. And then on the inside wall, near the top where you see that little hemorrhaging area, where that white line meets there, it's a very short wall. It'll show up there sometimes. That's very rare. Maybe 3% of the time I'll find an abscess there. Typically it's in this outside wall. In a future video, I'll go through all the ins and outs of what happens to create an abscess, what's going on inside the foot that makes these things show up. But today we're just going to finish working on this foot. As I begin to work here, you can see the actual lesion itself beginning to show itself, and that area around it that looks like loose hoof forming in there is actually not loose yet. It's actually part of the live tissue of the foot. I don't want to monkey with that, cutting that out of there. I've had some, I don't want to say criticisms, but some people worried about leaving too much of that loose hoof in there when I trim these feet. And what I found in my 18 years of trimming is that the less amount of corium damage that I can do in there, the better off it is for healing. So my primary objective when I'm working on these is not to remove every tiny little piece of loose horn on this first trim, but rather to remove all the hoof around the lesion itself so that that can heal, and that other hoof around there will heal on its own. Because of that, I will take care of that later in subsequent trims when it has become hard horn. Messing with it now is just running the risk of causing more corium damage, which I don't want to do. Here I'm pointing to those little soft bits that I'm talking about. It looks like jagged pieces of hoof, but that's actually soft tissue. Another reason I don't remove that entire sole area, aside from the fact that a lot of it is still attached, is that if that block does happen to fall off for some reason, I've still got some protection there to allow that foot to continue to heal without her going severely lame. At the end of this video, I'll post a couple of follow-up videos where I've shown cows' hooves that have healed, and you can see this technique in action. To leave you today, I'm going to show you a sneaky little trick that chickens like to play. And had I not seen this before, I'd have thought this chicken was dead. Nope, just taking a snooze. All right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, we'll see you on the next one.